Welcome to the deep dive. We take those complex stacks of sources you send us, find the crucial bits of insight, and, well, deliver the knowledge you need. Fast.
Exactly. And today, we're tackling a really common kitchen dilemma, aren't we?
We are. It's the big one. Air fryer versus convection oven.
The ultimate countertop, or maybe sometimes built-in showdown. We're aiming to go beyond just, reading out feature lists.
Right. We want to dig into the mechanics, the engineering, and what it actually means for the food you cook.
Yeah, this deep dive is really designed to boil down the core differences. We're talking wattage, capacity, the physics of, crispiness, and it's all based strictly on the sources you provided, the goal, to help you figure out which appliance really fits your cooking style, your kitchen.
Okay, sounds good. So before we get into the differences, let's quickly touch on the common ground. Our sources all agree they share that fundamental mechanism, right?
Absolutely. Both use a fan to circulate hot air. That's the key similarity.
That fan is what makes them different from a regular old-style oven.
That's the foundation, yeah. It creates that forced heat, cooks food faster, more evenly. But that's pretty much where the similarities end and the designs take them down different paths.
It seems like it really boils down to specialization versus generalization. The air fryer, the AF, it's like a hyper specialist.
Precisely. Think of the air fryer as a compact countertop gadget. It's engineered for intense high-speed air circulation. Its main job, its mission, is pretty narrow. To mimic deep frying. It does this by really maximizing how quickly it dries out the surface of the food. It's all about getting that quick, crispy texture using hardly any oil.
Gotcha. Okay, so then the convection oven, the COO.
Yeah.
That's the versatile workhorse.
Exactly. It's usually bigger. Sometimes it's part of your main oven range. Its focus is different. It's about really even, really consistent heat spread across a much larger space. That means it can do more things well, proper roasting, baking, broiling, much more versatile.
Okay, let's pivot then. Let's talk physical realities.
Yeah.
Speed and scale. If I'm prioritizing quick and easy, just how small and how fast are we talking with the air fryer?
Well, the size of the air fryer really dictates who it's best for. Capacity usually ranges, maybe 2 to 10 quarts? It's a very small chamber.
Which is good for speed, but bad for quantity.
Right. That small chamber is a big plus for cooking fast, but it's also its main limitation. It's great if you're cooking for one, maybe 2 people, or, doing appetizers for a small group, maybe 4 people max.
So forget about doing a whole sheet pan of roasted veggies or like a big batch of cookies in one go.
Yeah, you run out of space immediately. That's where the convection oven comes in. It's the volume king.
How much bigger are we talking?
Oh, dramatically bigger. Capacities usually start around half a cubic foot and go up to 2 cubic feet or even more. That size lets you use multiple racks, fit in large roasting pans, easily handle something like a whole turkey. It's really built for, bigger families or when you're entertaining batch cooking.
Okay, now let's hit speed directly. This is where the AF is supposed to really shine, isn't it? Our sources definitely highlight that small size, giving it a thermal edge.
It does. It's all about minimizing the space you need to heat up and maximizing how fast the air moves. The air fryer is super fast for small jobs, mainly because it needs almost zero preheating time.
Heats up instantly, basically.
Pretty much. That small chamber gets hot right away. So, for instance, that basket of frozen fries, you can have them golden and crispy in maybe 10-15 minutes. That's a huge time saver compared to a big oven.
But the convection oven is still faster than a totally conventional oven, right? Just not that fast.
That's correct. A CO will speed things up compared to a standard oven, maybe cutting baking times by, say, 20 to 30%. But it still takes longer to get that big internal space heated evenly compared to the AF's little basket.
Okay, but there's a nuance here, isn't there?
There is. Here's the critical thing. The CO's large capacity means you can cook multiple things at once. 3 different side dishes on 3 racks, perhaps. So yeah, it might lose the race if you're just cooking one small portion of fries. But for preparing a big multi-part meal, it can actually cut down your overall cooking time significantly because you do it all together.
Ah, that makes total sense. Different kinds of efficiency depending on the scale. But look, speed and size don't matter if the food isn't right. Let's talk culinary results. What's the real difference in how the food turns out? Texture, structure. Does the air fryer really replace a deep fryer? Or is it just a very powerful small oven?
Right. This gets us into the actual, cooking science, and it's a key point in the source material. The air fryer is aiming to replace the result you get from deep frying. The trick is that high-speed hot air. It's not just about cooking the food through. It's about intense, localized dehydration happening really fast, right alongside the Maillard reaction.
Ah, yes, the Maillard reaction, that browning process that makes food taste so good.
Exactly that. The AF basically forces that reaction to happen intensely, right on the food surface. It pulls moisture out super quick, creating that crispy golden crust, and it does it using, 70 or 80% less oil than traditional deep frying.
Which is a huge selling point.
Definitely. It's purpose-built for anything you want crunchy: snacks, appetizers, certain main dishes.
But I was a bit surprised reading the sources here. That intense focus, that specialization, it comes with some real downsides, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. That same high-velocity air that creates the crispiness, it's actually bad for delicate things. You wouldn't want to try baking a souffle in there, or a light, airy cake. Even some soft breads might not work well.
Why not? What happens?
Well, the sources mention people trying delicate baked goods and finding that the powerful fan creates a dense, tough crust too quickly. And it can interfere with an even rise. It's just too harsh. It's a crisping machine, not really a baker's tool.
Okay, and that's where the convection oven shines. Consistency over that extreme crunch.
Precisely. The CO is designed for uniform, consistent heat, gentle heat spread evenly across its whole big interior. Yes, it uses a fan, but that fan's job is to eliminate hot spots and keep the temperature reliable everywhere on all racks. It's not about blasting the surface of the food.
Making it better for general cooking.
Much better for general cooking. You get beautifully roasted vegetables, evenly baked casseroles, perfect loaves of bread, things that need that consistent, gentle heat.
So, summing that up, if versatility is your main goal, you want to roast, bake, broil, maybe even dehydrate the CO is the clear winner. Its heat is predictable, gentle, and works across a large volume.
Correct. Whereas the AF is more limited, mostly for that frying effect, reheating things to be crispy again, handling small portions of non-delicate foods.
And the basket design itself is limiting too, right?
Yeah, that basket design makes it hard to do complex recipes with multiple layers or ingredients that shouldn't be tossed around. The convection oven with its flat racks and trays is just set up better for, making a whole dinner.
Okay, this is where it gets really practical for people deciding. The day-to-day stuff, effort, energy use, cost. Let's break that down. How much work are these things? Setup, cleanup.
Cleanup is a huge differentiator.
Yeah.
And the air fryer generally wins here big time.
How so?
Well, the controls are usually pretty simple. Often digital presets or basic dials, very intuitive. And the cleanup, it's mostly just the removable basket or drawer. They're typically non-stick and, crucially, dishwasher safe. Quick and easy.
That ease of use must be a big reason they're so popular and people actually use them.
Definitely. Now, the convection oven, that's usually a different story.
More involved, I'm guessing?
Substantially more involved, yeah. Especially the more advanced models with multiple cooking modes, the settings can be more complex to figure out. And cleaning, you've got a large interior space, multiple racks, maybe drip trays. It takes way more time and effort.
And those racks might not even fit in the dishwasher.
Exactly. Sometimes they're just too big or not designed for it, so more scrubbing involved.
Okay, let's talk energy consumption.
Yeah.
Our sources gave specific wattage figures, and the difference looked pretty stark. Which one's greener for everyday use?
The air fryer definitely uses less power, typically somewhere between, say, 800 and 1500 watts.
Which is quite low compared to other kitchen appliances.
It is. And because its cooking space is so small and it heats up almost instantly, it's incredibly energy efficient for those quick, small meals. You're not heating up a huge oven cavity just for a handful of chicken nuggets.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But that low wattage for the AF.
Yeah.
It contrasts sharply with the CO, right? Why does the convection oven need so much more juice? Like 2,000 to 3,500 watts?
It really comes back to the physics and the sheer volume. The AF needs power mostly for that fast fan and a relatively small heating element. The CO needs a lot more heating power.
Why?
To consistently heat that much larger volume of air, plus the metal racks, the pans, the food itself. It takes significant energy, especially if you're using it for longer cooking times, like roasting something for an hour or two. It's just the energy cost of heating a bigger space.
An unavoidable trade-off for the size and versatility?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, lastly, price. The barrier to entry for an air fryer seems remarkably low.
It really is. Air fryers are generally quite affordable.
Yeah.
You can get a decent one for, $50? Maybe up to $200 for a fancier, larger model. Very accessible.
And convection ovens.
Much wider price range there, partly because they vary so much in size and features, and whether they're countertop or built-in. A basic countertop CO might start around $100, maybe a bit more. But high-end, large-capacity, built-in models, those can easily run over $1,000. So if we try and pull all that together, the speed, the results, the practicality, the cost, we can sort of build a decision guide for you, the listener, based on how you live and cook.
Yeah, let's do that. But first, I want to tackle something our sources hinted at, a common point of confusion. People might think, well, isn't my big modern oven already a convection oven? Can't I just use that like a giant air fryer? Why isn't a CO just a big AF?
That is a key misunderstanding. A convection oven is not just a scaled-up air fryer. The fans, crucially, operate differently.
How's
The Cydex fan, its main goal is even heat saturation. It circulates air relatively gently to keep the temperature consistent everywhere, preventing hot spots. Its speed is controlled for evenness. The AF's fan, on the other hand, is designed for maximum velocity, for hitting the food surface hard with hot air to create that rapid crisping effect. Brute force versus controlled consistency.
So even though they both use fans and hot air, the way they use them leads to different results. They're engineered for different cooking tasks.
Exactly. That distinction is critical.
Okay, that makes the decision matrix clearer. So let's synthesize. If you're someone who values portability, maybe has limited counter space, wants quick, healthier snacks or meals, and usually cooks for just 1 to 4 people, what's the verdict?
Then you probably want the air fryer. It's the perfect tool for that kind of use. Rapid cooking, specialized fried results, easy cleanup, small footprint, speed and convenience for smaller portions.
Right. And conversely, if you often host dinners, regularly cook complex meals with multiple components, love to bake bread or roast large cuts of meat, and really need maximum kitchen versatility,
Then you definitely need the convection oven. Its large capacity and its ability to deliver consistent, even sheet, are absolutely essential for those bigger, more complex cooking tasks and for feeding larger groups.
So ultimately, our deep dive really confirms it. These two appliances, they share that core idea of moving hot air around, but they serve fundamentally different needs in the kitchen. One's a specialist crisping machine, the other's a versatile high-capacity workhorse.
That sums it up perfectly. And, that leads us to a final thought, something for you to maybe ponder.
Oh, wow.
We established the air fryer uses less power per hour, right? 800 to 1500 watts versus the convection oven's 2000 to 3500 watts. Lower wattage seems more efficient.
Seems that way, yeah.
But think about batch cooking. The air fryer can only do small amounts at a time. So let's say you need to make a really big batch of something, maybe 3 pounds of roasted potatoes. With the air fryer, you'd have to run it maybe 3, perhaps 4 times in separate batches. With the convection oven, even though it uses more power while it's on, you could potentially cook all those potatoes at once on a large baking sheet. So the question is, could the convection oven, despite its higher wattage, actually end up being more time efficient and maybe even more overall energy efficient for large quantities, simply because you run it for a shorter total duration compared to multiple AF cycles?
The specialization versus volume trade-off again, but framed in terms of energy over time for big jobs. That's definitely something interesting to consider.
Exactly. Which approach truly saves you more in the long run when cooking at scale?
A great question to leave folks with. We really hope this comparison helps you make the right choice for your own kitchen. That's all the time we have for this deep dive.
Thanks for tuning in.
We'll see you next time.